Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful people. It is Thursday, June 30th, 2022. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Shenita Connolly, your host for this evening, and I am excited to have you join us this evening. Please, please, please like and share this broadcast. Please like and share the broadcast. It is so important, not only that we are watching it and gaining information, knowledge, being inspired, educated, all of that. It is equally as important that we like and share the information as well, because this topic is so very important this evening. Many of us know personally the importance of relationship, education, investing in our relationship. And tonight we're going to talk about a program that actually can help elevate your relationship. So please like and share the broadcast. Before I bring my guest in this evening, as always, I just want to talk just briefly about why marriage education or relationship education is important before and after the I do. Marriage and relationship education provides us with an opportunity to learn new skills and tools, because there's a toolbox that we need to keep. That when we put those skills into practice, it strengthens the relationship. Just as we wouldn't stop taking music lessons or practicing our daily after your first recital, you wouldn't stop. You keep going, you keep practicing, keep trying to become better. You shouldn't stop working on your relationship or learning new things that will help to better that relationship. We can always improve our communication skills. We can connect on a deeper level. We can learn more about each other. Relationship education gives us a chance to do these things in a casual atmosphere. It includes an element of fun, and it makes for a perfect activity on a date night. So when should we start marriage education? Now. If we're dating, we're seriously dating, we're engaged, we even desire to be married, we got a friend, you can just partake in this. So many couples wait until after their marriage, takes place, and they're struggling before they look into a counseling or seek out relationship opportunities. When you discovered that there's issues, sometimes it's really, really bad. So I think the preventive side is the best way to encourage couples to strengthen their relationship, is by getting in before things get tough. It's called fireproofing your relationship. It's called, protecting it, preparing for what's to come. Classes can help couples to become better team members and tackle life together. And even classes for blended families, sometimes that helps, because my husband, who passed away 7 years ago, on today, he had his heart attack 7 years ago, about 10:30 p.m. at night. And we had a blended family, and there were challenges. And I thank God that we were able to do premarital counseling with not only my pastor, but my brother's pastor. And one of the main topics of discussion in both of those premarital sessions was the blending of the family challenges that we had. And so you want to make sure you get on the front side of the challenges, because it can break down a relationship if you do not. So we have to be very proactive. So I wanted to share that, and I'm hoping that you all will like and share this broadcast and understand how important this subject is, and pass it on to someone. Share it, send the link to them, so that if they're not watching, they can watch. Just send it to them. You don't have to say a word. Check this out. So tonight, we're going to talk about elevate. Let's elevate your relationship. So the topic, let's elevate your relationship. So I have some amazing people that are going to join me tonight. I have Miss Paula Myrick with the Refresher Community, and she is going to join me now. Good afternoon or good evening, Paula.
Good afternoon. How are
How are
you?
you? Good,
Yes,
good.
you
So
look
glad to have
beautiful.
you.
You look
Thank,
beautiful tonight.
thank you. You too. And we have on this blue. I my husband's favorite color was blue, so I kept my blue sundress on today.
Wow.
Yes. So thank you for being here. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
passionate about this topic.
I am.
Yes, we also have Miss Regina Chavez, who is her and her husband were actually a past participant in the refreshers program, Elevate, sponsored Elevate program. So, Regina, good evening. Glad to have you.
Good evening. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My husband couldn't be here, but I'm here for him.
That's right, you're a team.
Correct.
You're standing in for the team.
Yes.
Hmm.
And not only do we have these amazing ladies, but we also have a gentleman, Mr. Sean Rollins, who is going to join us. And Sean is actually one of the co-facilitators for the Elevate program through Refresher. So good evening, Sean, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, hello.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are going to kind of kick this conversation off with you, Paula. Um,
Hi.
tell us a little bit more about Refresher.
Okay. So I'm so excited to be back on your show. This is just a wonderful opportunity to share some of the things we're doing in the community. Refresher Community was started in 2016, and the goal of Refresher and mission of Refresher is to provide refreshing moments for caregivers, single moms, and now for couples. So we started, and we have this wonderful new program tonight that we really want to highlight, but we'd like to make sure that the community of caregivers, moms, know that they're seen, heard, and that they're valued in the community.
Well, we appreciate you, Paula. I'm sorry, I'm going back to the first um, slide here.
Okay,
Um,
and it's okay.
there we
So,
go.
yeah,
Strengthening relationships, Refresher Community Inc., bridging hope and refreshing communities.
yes, that's
So
who
I
we
thank
are.
you. I thank you for that. That's really, really important. All right. So, with that being said, we have a video I think that we want to share
Yes,
um, with the audience. So, let's do that.
I think the sound is down a little bit.
We've been together about 30 years, and what Elevate has brought us to is being able to share things that we didn't know about each other that are really helpful right now. So,
Awesome. Regina, that's your husband.
That is me and my husband.
That's yes. So, you've been a part of Refresher.
That is correct. And I can honestly say that Refresher was well, let me start by saying my husband, being the ultra masculine man, did not sign up for it. I did. I basically tricked him. Uh, so
Sometimes
because
we have to.
I knew he'd fight me on it, so I just told him, "Yeah, we're going. We're going to go and we're going to eat and have a good time. Just commune with a couple of different couples." He's like, you know. But when we got there, he actually, thought that it was okay because there were a bunch of other men around. It didn't seem like wimpy guys and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm,
So he
mhm.
felt at ease, and he was the one that actually started talking. So I looked at him puzzled because he's not the talkative guy, and especially not in an arena where it seems to be therapeutic.
Mhm.
Thankfully, I didn't tell him that it was a therapeutic um, meeting,
Right.
until we left. And then he's like, "You put me in a couples meeting group? What is wrong with you?" But as he actually wanted to go to the second one. It piqued his curiosity. And once we got into it full stream, as you guys saw, I was the one that was, starting to have the issues, because he was actually speaking out more and enjoying going. He would beat me there sometimes, he'd be there before I was. And, I was feeling some kind of way, but it built strength because I needed to see him opening up. I got to understand some things where he was holding back, but I needed to see what he was holding back,
Yes.
because of. And it
Yes.
opened up the lines of communication for us. And I can tell you that we are both A personalities, so that when we do communicate, it's usually screaming at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've learned how to communicate where we're actually starting out talking at a nice calm tone. And if we can't talk to resolve it, we go to our book and we've started writing it down
Yes.
the way we
Wow.
learned how to do it in the group, and
Yes.
Wow.
discussing it
That's good.
as an actual discussion. And I was so surprised it was his idea.
Right. That's awesome.
So I
To
can
see,
say that we took that away from Elevate Refresher program. It actually did really seriously help our communication.
yes, yes. And that is awesome to see men who want to continue to go and strengthen their relationship and want to, they realize there's change that needs to take place. And this is an opportunity for that change because it matters.
It really
Right?
does.
It matters. And if we want to have a wholesome relationship and we want to live this thing out until the wheels fall off, we're going to have to do something different.
And we're married 30 years, over 30 years. And
Yes.
again, the communication, I thought that we communicated pretty well, but it was unhealthy. It's not, that was not the way to communicate,
Yes.
yelling and screaming at each other. But we
Yes.
got accustomed to it. It was not healthy. We now both feel healthy.
That's good.
Wow.
That's awesome. So, Paula,
Yes.
how did Elevate become a part of the Refresher community?
Well, Refresher Community, we are a State of Hope designee with the Department of Children and Family Services. And they had these grants that were going around that would help communities. And so we just took a stab at it. We said, we love the community. Let's try to see if we could incorporate this wonderful program into families, because so goes the families, the relationships in the families, whether you're single or a couple. It has an effect on the children, and it has an effect on the entire community. So we were so blessed when we were able to receive this sub grant through UGA and through the University of Georgia. So, I was so excited because the University of Georgia is full of wonderful programming, and it is a very highly accredited college. And so they have this program, and this program that was received a 5-year grant. And so there are several community partners that disperse this program. And so we serve the Henry and Clayton County areas with this healthy relationship program. It's about producing positive parenting and positive relationships in the community. So we're excited about being and facilitating this program. And the great thing about it is that our merit champion, who's right up there, Miss Shenita, is one of our great facilitators. When I tell you she is passionate, she brings in the resources from the community, she brings in her own experience, and each one of our facilitators, they come with their own specific aura and passion for families and couples. And I can't say it's me. I just say it's the team that we have that produces such a significant program, so much so that these couples, they still get together today because the relationships were real, the information was real, the information was pertinent, and they are utilizing these skills to not only, because one component says, how are you engaged? And in order to have a healthy relationship, you need to be able to engage in other communities to stay strengthened. So I am so excited. I did not know what it was going to be like. But once I became a part of it and listened to the program, I understood not only looking at them, but looking internally in my own relationship, how this particular program could strengthen families. And so I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Yes, yes. We thank you for, taking a stab. I've worked with UGA many, many years ago, and so I understand the important role they play in the communities to help the community, the family. And so to be a part of another initiative has really truly been a blessing to me. because my husband, and he worked alongside me before he passed with the Clayton County Extension UGA program. So I'm excited tonight, as we celebrate his life and legacy, that we're having this conversation about marriage and relationship, because he was just as passionate about it as I am. And so it's a wonderful way to celebrate him. But I do want to hear Sean Rollins, if we could get him to come in from a male perspective as a facilitator, to share a little bit about his perspective on Elevate, because I think it's important for us to speak to men. Women are always relevant. We're always in front, out front, doing things, but the men are just as important. And to hear a man share, I think, would speak to someone else out there. So Sean, share with us, why you're involved, what it has been like for you in your marriage, or anything that you'd like to share about Elevate.
First of all, I want to say, as a facilitator, not only am I a facilitator, but I am also a learning person as well, so a student of it as well. So as we're teaching and hearing others, it gives us different perspectives. So that was one of the main things that I've learned. And, like I said, even being a facilitator to help elevate our own marriage was basically about perspective and, learning to hear people, see people, and just learning different ways. And so the main thing with this group is that you have tools. And so you want to be able to use those tools. And, with me being the male teacher, I want to be able to encourage other males and, other husbands, other people that, it's not only just for women, it's for both. We are a team and we want to work together.
That's right. Yes, I love it. One of my friends, Sean and Cetrice Collins, back in probably 2008, 7, when I met them in their home, they had this sign, Team Collins. And before they married,
it's Rollins.
Right. And so he said to her when they were dating, I'm looking for a teammate. I'm looking for someone to join my team. And he was dating women but he was looking for a teammate. And so when we went in their house and saw Team Collins on the wall, we incorporated that into our marriage ministry from that day on. And so Team Connolly, Team everyone in our marriage ministry was referred to as a team, because we do want people to realize in your relationship, you are teammates. So that's kind of where that team piece came from in our on our journey, was the Collins, Sean and Cetrice Collins.
So Shenita, I wanted to just kind of piggyback on what you were saying. In a world that's so divided, marriage is still, or not just marriage, but couples is very vital in a healthy community, because we see so many things falling apart. But if a couple can stay together and learn how to do it well, it will strengthen not only their home, but it'll strengthen their workplace. It'll strengthen everything they do, because relationships, however they come, need to be worked on. We need to be better at it. So I just think that having these tools not only will affect your marriage or your dating relationship, it will have an effect profoundly on everything. You'll see people differently. You will hear things differently because you have another perspective on relationship building.
Yes. And I love the fact that we talked about a toolbox. And so the information that we've learned, the skills and things that we've learned in this class and previous classes, we put in that toolbox, because we know we're going to need those tools just like we do in the home, right? We might not use them every day, but there are opportunities that come up that we need to pull those tools out and use them.
Yes.
Right?
My husband did.
Yes. Yes. When you realize, oh, we're going to the left. Oh, we need to get back on track.
As he did.
Pull that binder out.
He did. He did. He pulled that binder out.
And some of the exciting things that happened in the class, we saw them, Shenita. We got a chance to meet them I have the opportunity not of teaching the class, but I get a chance to speak to usually the wife on the phone before we get started. And it's so good to see the men emerge and become the communicators and take the lead in caring for their relationship. It's almost like a flower, you know.
Yeah.
Women, we lead sometimes emotionally, but men, they lead from their heart and what they do. And when they put their heart into it, they carry it with them. And I believe it is such a vital component that men have something, because they want to. I don't believe men get into a relationship for it to fail, but
Right.
sometimes they just don't have those tools, and they don't have community. They don't have anyone saying, this is actually manly for you
Mhm.
to get out in
Right.
front of your relationship. So
Mhm.
I want to add that point.
Yeah.
Shenita.
And we've kind of talked about why they should participate in this program, because it enhances, the relationship. It's a great, date night opportunity. You're going to add more tools in your toolbox. And so we want to just encourage people, whether they're married, engaged, maybe seriously dating,
Or if they just want to know if this is something they want to do, Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
And so we want to encourage those to like and share. First of all, like and share the broadcast, because sharing is caring. I truly believe that.
True.
This program is actually free, offered
Free.
in the state of Georgia. In person, the next session will start soon.
Yes. The next session will start on August 7th. For those who live in the Henry and Clayton County areas, registration is open, but it won't be open long. It closes on July 20th. So, and we only have a limited number of seats, because if we don't have a really large class, because we like to keep it intimate, especially for our in-person session, because they become a community within themselves. So we have about 15 seats, and we have about 4 of those that are already taken. So if you're interested in elevating your relationship, it's free of charge. It's basically an hour and a half. You get a meal, you have activities, and it's a free date night. And so if you're interested, I would encourage you strongly to go ahead and go to this website, and it's elevateCouplesGeorgia.com. And you'll hit Henry County and you'll come directly to us. Our sessions are wonderful. They're on Sundays and Thursdays. And I believe that you will be very satisfied with the sessions. But you have to do the work up front. And but it's free, but you have to do a little work up front. And so we look forward to meeting you.
And what time do those sessions start on Sundays and Thursdays?
On Sundays, the session starts at 4 p.m. And at 30 minutes before the session, we have a meal for you. And so you don't have to worry about, I'm hungry, I got to stop somewhere and get something to eat. You can come and have a little meal with us. And I always try to make sure it's really nice on Sundays. We have a really nice meal. And then it's from 4 to 6 p.m. And then on Thursdays from 7 to 9. So at 6:30, we generally have a meal ready for you, a lighter meal after getting off work. And we go through our sessions. You'll have a workbook, and you may feel a little tired, but by the time you leave, something will be said to energize you, and you will be so happy that you came.
I'd like to add something.
Mm-hmm.
On a serious note, I would like to say that I think Elevate was truly a part of helping my marriage stay. At the point when my husband and I started, we were both just, so angry at each other all the time. And we were searching, we needed something, and we both knew it, after this long together. And I can honestly say that Elevate was a substantial way for us to learn to communicate and stay together.
Yeah. And I'm so excited because I can echo your sentiments, because Paula, myself, we watched the journey.
Right.
And
you remember how hard it was for us.
And to see you guys go through that program and come out on the other side, when in the beginning we were like, "Ooh, are they going to make it?"
Yeah.
But look at your testimony.
Yeah. We
and And the big thing, you celebrated an anniversary in our session.
During, right.
Yes.
During our session,
Yes.
and everybody was rooting for. I loved it because it's
Yes.
so good. It's good to know that you have people who are rooting for you, although
Yes.
they're learning and wanting to grow. But each one of the couples were rooting for one another, and anytime
Yes.
somebody had a need, they would just get in there and support one another. It wasn't about telling your business; it was about you growing
But
and getting.
we needed what we got from the other couples. We
Yes.
needed. We
Yes.
we meshed. Actually, we're with two of the other couples we're pretty good friends with. With
Mhm.
Connie and
Yeah.
Daryl, we're seeing them over the weekend. We're celebrating 4th of July together.
Wow,
I love
I
it.
didn't know that.
And with Brian and Tanya, we are going to their baby shower soon. So I mean,
Yes.
I love it.
we built families.
Yes.
Something that's long term.
Yes.
So
I love
it
it.
wasn't just about elevating our marriage. It was about elevating our worlds.
Yes.
Wow.
Your
Did just that.
circle, your
Yeah.
circle, your
That's
support
good.
circle. Because
did.
accountability, with the couples that you guys met and became friends with, you can all hold each other accountable, right?
We do. And we do.
Yeah.
We go out, we hang out, and we talk about the things that we learned, and
Mhm.
and we can actually understand. I understand what Connie's going through. She understands what I'm going through,
Yeah.
and we get it.
Yeah. And you can help each other. And
We are.
back in the day, people used to be ashamed for someone to know that they were having a challenge. And so the
Mhm.
next thing you knew, there was a divorce, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I say, no, you need a support system so that when you're going through challenges, if you don't have the tools in your toolbox like Elevate offers, that you have a circle of people that will help you keep your relationship solid and grounded, right? Because we can't be ashamed. We can't be all happy, about getting married or saying I do, but we're not willing to do the work to stay married. And then when we're having challenges, we're ashamed to tell somebody that we're having challenges. It's a part of life.
Right.
And-
And marriage is such hard work.
It's
We
work,
need every bit of help that we can get.
every bit.
Yes.
Every bit.
And even if you're saying, I don't want to be married, but I still want to be in a healthy relationship,
That's right.
even if you're just dating, like I want it to be healthy, right?
That's right.
And sometimes you got to take that individual responsibility. I know I don't communicate well, right?
Oh, I knew I didn't. So I had to swallow a few times.
Yes.
Take a couple of swallows.
Right.
Yes.
And that saved your marriage.
It did. It did. We learned how to get along.
Yeah.
By simply talking.
That's right. In a
Awesome.
loving way.
Right.
Communicating.
Right.
So I am excited because I have actually my bonus son and his sweetie who is going to join us for a conversation because they actually participated in Elevate virtually.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was so excited when you can talk with young people and you can encourage them to do something that you already know will benefit them, right?
Right.
It's one thing to have the conversation, but it's another thing for them to value it enough to say, yes, let's do it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so these young people are very serious about their journey as individuals, and they're very serious about their journey as a couple. And so, as well as some others that I recommended to the class who have attended. So I'm excited to have them to come in and share their experience from Elevate and what they got out of it and why they feel it's important to invest, as we're trying to encourage people tonight to go to the website, to read up on the information, and then once you read up on the information, to sign up. And if you don't feel like it's a good fit for you, share it with somebody else.
right.
Caring is caring.
Right.
So let's care about other people. We all know somebody who's struggling, who's going through something. So we have an opportunity for them to be a part of something that doesn't cost them anything, but they gain more than just the information to put in the toolkit, because they gain some gift cards and some other incentives for participating. So it's a win-win.
Right.
Shenita, so before you go there, right there, listen, it's a win-win. You get $160 in gift card for completing this sessions.
Yes.
If you come to
Yes.
all the sessions, you're able to get an Amazon gift card and the clothes. I know somebody's going to have a birthday. One of you are going to have a birthday, an anniversary, something that you could use that gift card for. And so I know you're not coming for the incentives, but that's a part of this wonderful program.
Absolutely. So I'm going to bring in my wonderful couple, and they're going to share with us. So hold tight. Hello, beautiful people.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Gary, yes, we can hear you guys loud and clear, and I'm so tickled pink. Because I've had three couples that have gone through Elevate. The Joneses went through face-to-face, and you all went through virtual, and Kamala and Michael went through virtual. So I'm so excited to have you guys join us this evening to kind of share a little bit about your experience with Elevate, what it has meant to you as you're going on this journey and you're planning to walk this thing out together. So share with us who you are first, individually, and what you do, and what has your experience been like, and all of that good stuff.
Okay, well, my name is James Scales, and
I'm Carrie Ford.
So we are, I guess you would say, a newlywed couple. This would be our 6 months on this day, actually.
Wow.
Really?
This is a big day.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Being in a relationship, and we actually met online on a dating app.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing, the journey that we've been going through this far, and this has been actually a very smooth journey. We have a lot of similarities and whatnot. And when you suggested to do this Elevate class, it was a no-brainer to us to do it, because we are actually very serious about what we're accomplishing as far as being in a relationship, long-term goals, and the ultimate forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely a great class that we joined. It was very interesting points that we didn't think of, because
Right.
I think we're very thoughtful in what we're trying to accomplish and the things that we want to do in our future. So definitely a lot of great concepts, a lot of conflict management, and it definitely as far as just acknowledging our strengths and whatnot, and acknowledging what we bring to the table on a consistent basis. I think there's a lot of people who do not actually say that, I love, this is what you do. I love the things that, you do for me. And, I guess, you can kind of speak to that as well. But we definitely learned a lot from this Elevate class.
Awesome. Carrie?
And having the consistency of week after week, we talked about our relationship. Was the meat and potatoes of the classes, talking about where we are, talking about what we're going through, what we're doing, and what we're doing well, and what we may face in the future, and things like that. Having that time carved out every week to really talk about us was very, very beneficial. And I still look forward to our Thursdays, because we still want to keep that up, just
Right.
to have that time where we just talk about us and what we have going on, instead of just, living life and going out to eat or this and that. It's a really good, hearty time for our relationship.
I love when you said we continue that routine of spending quality time because we value our relationship. So you carved out that time to keep it going. And see, that's the key right there, because we invest in all kinds of other things, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to invest into this relationship, just like we do on a job. I look at it like this. When we get on a job, many times we want to get promotions. Mm-hmm. So we do things to get to the next level. And once we get to that next level, we want to get to the next level. And so in our relationship, we got to this level. We should work just as hard to get to the next level in our relationship, and then the next level. I think I shared on a post recently that my husband used to get teased about being henpecked, right? And he's, James, how funny.
I know about henpecked.
He was a little boy, he knew my husband. And so Winston used to laugh and say, yeah, you just hadn't been pecked by the right hen. And so, So we just want to make sure that we feel that way about our partner, right? That we feel like, oh yeah, you something else. You special. You something to me. I value you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And I think a lot of people, and I tell her all the time, I know about going through the motions where you're just going day to day through life with no real goals, no real,
Purpose.
just no real purpose in life. And I tell her that, when come this year, I think I really manifested us because I really sat down, and I know me and you talk all the time, Miss Shenita, about who I want in a woman, and
Yes.
I can say that I didn't really take that 100% serious, but it was before this year. I said, let me really write this down as a goal, as this is what I really want. I really want to be in a relationship, and time comes and it's here now that I'm ready as I need to be able to even just to start this journey. And I know that there's going to be challenges along the way, but I know that I'm ready and emotionally intelligent enough and coherent and have goals to take on this challenge that I'm pretty sure it would come the bumps in the road, of course. And I'm so glad that we took this class to give us to strengthen our bond and to understand that there are actually actionable steps to take that we can whenever we get into conflict or whatever the case may be. So I appreciate it 100%.
And one of my themes for this year has been intentionality, and this class just screams intentionality because it forces you to be intentional. It forces you to think inward and think, well, what do I say? Am I having a crabby reaction? Am I, hungry right now and I'm just frustrated? What's really going on? And making very purposeful actions just in day-to-day life, and especially towards your partner, making sure they know and feel the appreciation in all modes.
Yes. And one of the things that I would always say to people when you're having to have a conversation that's a tough conversation, and this is just a tip for those who are watching. When you're having to have a tough conversation and you're kind of uncertain how your partner will take it, I always tell the ladies to grab your spouse's hand and hold it and rub it so that they know that what you're about to say is coming from a good, safe place, so the guard can come down. And that it's coming from a wonderful place in space so that it benefits both of us, not just you or me, because we're a team, right? We should be.
One of the things I really am valuing, you both are young, I want to say, compared to our ages, and that you're getting this up front. I had an unsuccessful relationship and marriage. And had I had these tools, up front, I'm not saying where it would go, but I feel like I would have been better prepared. So these are real live tools. Yes, it's based in science, but it's based on best practices. And so I love that you're getting things like this word intentional. I don't know. I just wanted a white picket fence. You know what I'm saying? I wanted someone, I wanted to feel the goosebumps and all those things, but I did not know that it took work and work on my part. I wanted him to be something, and he probably wanted me to be something.
Absolutely.
Something that we could not be without good information. So I'm so excited that you were a part of this wonderful session. So I just wanted to add that.
Yes, me too. And let me tell you, watch out, because their names will be shining bright, in the world one day, I believe. Because when you have a partner who have personal goals, and then you have couple goals, and then you're working together, you can't help but to be successful. So
you're
James,
gonna build something.
You're gonna build something.
You're gonna build something.
And in the Chavezes, I'm sure you guys built something, along the journey in your marriage. You hadn't been married for 30 something years and didn't build anything. You got a beautiful family, beautiful life together, grandchildren, all of that.
True.
And you get to be a housewife, right?
Oh yeah, I'm home. I work from home. I do the accounting and the HR for Miguel's company, but I'm a housewife home.
Right.
So how is this do you feel like your relationship has been better for your family, for your children? What do your children think about? Have you seen any evidence of this working to help your family, or to see you in a
Or
different
have
light?
they noticed the change in
Yes,
mom and dad
correct.
since
Well,
Elevate?
I think my daughters both have noticed that I'm a little bit more patient with their dad, because I'm usually the hothead, and
Mm.
he will feed off of my energy, and as long as I remain calm,
He's
our
calm.
right, he's calm,
Mm-hmm,
our
mm-hmm,
day goes calm. So
mm-hmm.
I practice that.
That's good.
I pay attention to the things that I'm going to say to him, because now remember, I usually want to come out of a box,
Right.
you know. I'm learning that that's not the right way to handle things.
Right.
It's not the supportive way.
Absolutely.
I just have to think about things before I say it. And in my head, I develop a conversation, and I'm like, okay,
Yes.
that's not nice. It's not respectful,
There you
and I
go.
have to be nice, or
Right.
he's going to make my day miserable, and I don't want that. So
Right. And the beautiful thing about it is I've had a marriage that didn't work, the first marriage, and then I was blessed with a second marriage with the desires of my heart. As James mentioned, I wrote it all out, and God blessed me with the desires of my heart, but it wasn't forever, right? And so one of the things that I try to share with the couples is life without your spouse. When you think about, okay, well, we're fussing and arguing or picking and nitpicking and all of this, we're wasting time, versus making the best of the time that we have, because we don't know what
True.
the next moment brings, right? So I try to make sure that I tell people that, because we had a perfect day on June 30th, 2015. Perfect day, James. We have been working on projects and things like that, right?
Yes,
Goals,
absolutely.
and so just think, we always say the next day is not promised, but the next minute could not be promised, because he didn't recover once he laid down to say goodnight and I love you, had a heart attack. So I want to encourage couples to make the best of the time that you have together, because we're not going to agree on everything, but still be loving, deliver it in a loving way, because you still can get the same message across, versus crabby, as Carrie said a minute ago. Do we have to be crabby? Sometimes we're irritable. We know that. But check ourselves before we hurt somebody else's feelings, right?
right.
So I
Absolutely.
appreciate this program for more reasons than one, because again, it allows me to meet wonderful people, to help wonderful people, and just to remind me, if God blesses me again with another relationship, of the things that really are important. So I'm grateful to know the Chavezes and future team scales.
Absolutely. And I encourage men, I know, you definitely want to broadcast this to men as well.
Yes.
We should definitely be deliberate and intentional about the relationships that we are going to be in the future. All this going around and, doing relations and all that kind of stuff, that's, we do that when we're younger, just as long as you're not, crushing anybody's hearts. But when it comes time, it comes time to really stand up and take care of your family. That's the nucleus, the man and the woman, to take care of their children, be, citizens in society and take care of their children. So it's important for us to, definitely step up and really be a part of our family and take care of our families. So that's very important to me. And I know to my dad, to most of our dads, that was definitely very important part of our life. Take care of that family.
Yes. And you guys were blessed. James, you were blessed with a wonderful mom and dad. I knew them personally. James' mom and dad put him and his brother in my summer camp in 2003. They trusted them. And so they've been a part of my life since 2003. And I thank God for just them saying, yes, they can be a part of camp character, and so
definitely pivotal part of my life.
So I'm glad that I could not only, encourage you all to be a part of this Elevate program, but constantly be an important part of your life as well. Thank you for joining us this evening. Paula?
Shenita, I want to say, so that's why it's so important. You never know how you're changing a person's life. to get them connected to a program. Sometimes people just need a little help, a little support.
Just a
They
little
just
bit.
need a little encouragement. You see someone, you're like, they may be struggling, but a lot of times people will have hesitancies because it says time, but it's worth it. It's a free date. It's worth it. The relationship that you want to be in for the rest of your life, to do it well. I believe that that's a healthy thing, physically, mentally, socially, in every area. When you decide that I'm going to be healthy at this one thing, I may not have all the money in the world, but I can have a healthy relationship.
A healthy
And I think
relationship.
and so goes our society.
Yes. And the kids get to see that, right?
Yes.
As we're raising our children. So James and Carrie, if you want to share anything about what you do, because I of course I believe sharing is caring. Anything about your businesses that you want to share before you guys leave?
Sure.
You go first.
I am a speech language pathologist, and I work with students who have special needs, and I work on communication all day. So I definitely echo again this program for the importance of communication for those who can't communicate. So if you can have the ability to do so, definitely communicate.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
Very, very educated.
I love it.
I'm actually an electrical engineer for a lighting company. So I do that during the day. That's my 9 to 5. On the side, I'm also a graphic designer. So all of Miss Shenita's flyers, everything I do for her,
Everything.
graphic design, web design, print design is what I do on the side, which will become my business. But yes, that's what I do currently on the side. Also incorporating photography and videography. So if you need a photographer, holler at me.
Yes.
So
He's great. He's great.
I do a lot.
No, he did.
Call you. I'm gonna call you.
We do a lot. We do a lot.
Yes. He did both of my book covers and all of my media stuff, and so many other people I referred him to, and website design, all kinds of stuff. So I just thank God for the connections on all level with all of you guys that's on this platform. So Carrie, I can't wait for us to sit down and have our chat and informally meet. So thank you, James. James texted me not long ago and said, Miss Shenita, we have met each other's families, and now we want to sit down and I want to bring Carrie over so she can meet you formally. And so I feel honored. Yes.
I can see the resemblance. I can see why. He chose her. I'm listening to her and I'm listening to you, Shenita. I was like, I see that. I see the connection.
Yes.
It's important that you have accountability. Shenita is a part of your road and your path, and we want to be a part of your path as well. We may not be around forever, but we can be a part of your story of a better, healthier relationship. And so, again, please sign up. Go to elevatecouplesgeorgia.com. Put in the work, and we'll give you a call and your partner a call, and we'll get you into our session. We're actually having a special interest session at 6631 at the Diamond Center, where we host our sessions. It's going to be at 6:30. It's going to be a pizza dinner. If you're interested in learning more about the Elevate program and meeting our other facilitators, it's going to be at the Diamond Center at 6631 Highway 42 in Rex, Georgia. And we'd love for you to join us. All right?
Yes. And Paula, is there anything else that you want to share with the audience? Any other, tips or things that you want to share about the curriculum, maybe the topics that we've covered?
So we lay the foundation. We talk about having a good foundation and how you need to be enlightened and how you need to. Some of the things that some of the couples did not even know that their spouses had nicknames as children. You had a nickname, so to get enlightened. And then we talked about valuing one another. I don't want to be in no relationship where I'm not valued. You know what I'm saying? Woo! I don't want to be tolerated. I want to be valued. We talk about empowering yourself. You can only be as healthy to your partner as you are healthy yourself. And sometimes we project And
Mhm.
the rift comes when we're projecting how we feel about ourselves. So when we are empowering ourselves, we can be better mates. And then we talked about attach, how you have to, I mean, some people didn't grow in a relationship as children. They weren't very bonded. They didn't have strong connections, and that translates as a disconnect in a relationship. So we talked about being attached and how you can maintain a friendship. You know, I know we always heard, we thought that was an illusion, that you can't be a friend when you're married, but I believe that's the basis of your relationship. And then Shenita's topic, tame, and, you know,
Yes.
Shenita can tell you more, but you gotta, this tongue is deadly. I think the scripture says it, but we know that, you know, when I was a child, I didn't cuss, but I could tear you down in just a few words. And so we talked about give you tools and how that makes that other person feel. Although you're relieved for a moment, the words you say can damage and your relationship. I mean, it can go to, especially women. We know how to talk, can damage that man's heart. That's what men want. Men want us to protect. We want them to protect us physically, but they want us to protect their heart. And so we have to watch how we use our language. And then we talk about engagement. Like we said, if you don't have a community as all the tools you're getting, sometimes you need someone else to be accountable to. You need to be able to go and connect with other people so your relationship can't just be insulated, but it can be reflected outward. So those are some of the things we talk about. There, you know, there's so many games, activities. I mean, it's so much, I can't really express it until you come. This information is built upon science, and they've studied people, and so it goes methodically.
Mm-hmm.
And it builds till you get to this point where you say, well, I can do this and I can do this well. So that's the goal of the Elevate program.
And the other part of one of the sessions for me is the intimacy. You know, a lot of times we shy away from the intimacy in relationships. And I think that, you know, we have to get to a place where, you know, maybe intimacy might not be as, you know, inward, sexual, right? It could be the intimacy of just sitting and holding each other, sitting and just being in each other's presence. But we have to make sure that that part of our relationship is healthy too, right?
Yes. So
We
I'm
can't
excited.
forget that. Yeah. So we want to make sure we're looking at the whole total couple, right? Aspect of the couple. And so we want to encourage people to invest in your relationship. So as we prepare to close, I'd like for each of you all to share some parting words with the audience, starting with Regina. Parting words to someone that may be out there struggling in their relationship or just don't know what to do, where to go.
I would like to say that was me looking for some sort of help for my marriage, because I was one foot out the door. And it was a simple Google of Georgia Tech. It just came right up, and I just filled out the questionnaire, and within an hour I got a phone call, you know, so it happened very fast. And the class happened very fast. I got my husband there, and it was serious, but it was also a lot of fun. So I can say that it wasn't just a learning experience. It was emotional for me, because I learned some things about my husband that I didn't know. It was enlightening, but it was also fun.
Awesome. UGA, not Georgia Tech.
Yay.
But it's all the same. We understand. Thank you so much, Regina, for being transparent, because a lot of people are afraid to say, I got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
I did.
And this was the game changer for my marriage. So thank you for sharing that, because somebody watching is 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in the door.
And so that was honestly me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, to the young future team Scales, any parting words that you all would like to share with the couples, young couples, older couples, middle-aged couples? What?
Well, I would say in general is to the point of the Elevate class. It is very easy to sign up. It's nothing hard. Just take the questionnaire and go through the interview series. But other than that, it's not hard. And I encourage anybody to, if you want to take those next steps, you have to be very intentional first about what those steps are, and be very intentional about your spouse, your lady, whoever it is to you. And just be intentional about what you want to do in the future. Like I said, it's not very hard to get to that Elevate class, and I'm glad we took it. I appreciate the scientific aspects of the classes, and then of course, everything else that accomplishes with that, especially the intimacy part, because like I said, people tend to stray away from that part as well.
Yes.
So I definitely appreciate the class and what we learned, and we definitely want to apply that to our lives. Yeah, anything from you?
Yeah. Even if you don't think you need this, you need it. Everyone needs this. Why not?
There you go.
So yeah.
And let me say to you two couples, Regina and Carrie and James, did y'all spend the money? Did you spend the gift cards? That's what I want to know.
I spent it. Miguel didn't spend any of it.
You spent
we spent a percentage, but we still got some. We still got some in the bank right now, so we still waiting on what we're gonna buy. And we're actually going to do it together.
That's good. That's good. I like that. And it's better to build with two people than it is with one any day. I'll tell anybody. And you guys know how I feel about getting your houses in order, making sure that all your I's are dotted and all your T's are crossed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all already know. So Paula, will you close us out with the parting word before we shut down?
Wow, this has been so powerful. Sometimes you don't know that you're part of something great. And if we didn't reach anyone else, and I know we will, the fact that you shared your heart, relationships are hard, but they can work because God put us here for relationships. And we have tools that can help couples be stronger, be better, feel more confident about their relationship. And sometimes, like Regina said, help them to bring that foot back in the door. That is the goal. And so on behalf of Refresher Community, we want you to take a moment, breathe in, be intentional, breathe out. And we want you to go to elevateCouplesGeorgia.com. And if you live in the Henry or Clayton County areas, please click it on and I'll give you a call. I'll be the person calling you. And I'm so excited about you and your relationship.
Yes. Thank you so much. And to the memory of my deceased husband, Winston Connolly, this show is dedicated to his life and his legacy because he had been married to his previous wife before she passed away from cancer of 22 years and together for 24 years before we became friends and then lovers and then married. And before he took his transition to the next part of his journey. So to you, Big Diddy, I love you. And I thank God for what you gave me on the journey for the time we had together. So to everyone out there, we thank you for watching tonight. We hope that you have been blessed by this broadcast. We hope that you will share this broadcast because there might be someone that needs this. We see enough domestic violence. We see enough of that going on in this world. And so we want to be the light. And so please like and share the broadcast. And remember that I love you, but God loves you most. He loves you best. Peace, love, joy today and always. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
And you all stay right there. Don't hang up. Stay right there.
Beautiful. Good night.